Today we're going to be talking about conversions related directly to products in your recipes. So as you're building out either your menu items, your prepared items, or your bar items, and you start adding products into those recipes, you may realize that some of those products require a conversion. This a lot of time pertains to weight to volume, or maybe telling us, for example, how many ounces are in a bottle of something. Now, there's a couple ways to obtain this information, which we're going to talk about. There's also some best practices. But the nice thing about once the conversion is completed, it remains in that product. So anytime you use that product in a different recipe, that conversion is always there. So let's go ahead and walk through an example. So right now I'm under prepared items, and what we're doing is that we're adding ingredients down here. So I'm going to go ahead and use baking powder as an example. So I just search for the product name comes up. We're going to go ahead and put a quantity. Then under the quantity, or next to the quantity, you're going to see unit, and you're going to see two things. You're going to see existing units and conversions needed. Anything that lies under that existing units, for example, this each, nothing needs to be done. You simply choose that. We're going to give you the cost of that product in that unit according to the most recent purchase price. However, there may be times, or maybe 1 tablespoon goes into this, or 1 cup goes into this. And when you click on that unit, you're going to see things fall under that conversion needed. So for example, if 1 cup of baking powder goes into this recipe, you're going to go ahead and click on cup. When you do this, this new box is going to pop up. And here you would have to tell us how many cups, for example, are in each. Now there's a couple different ways to find this information. You could always weigh things out, measure them, or you can Google them or chat GPT them. I just went ahead and Googled how many cups of baking powder are in a 4-ounce box. Google is telling us 9 to 10 cups. So what we're going to do is come back here and say 9 cups are in 1 each of baking powder. And here you're going to see that 1 cup, according to the conversion, costs you $2.44. Now, there's another way to do conversions. However, best practice is to always do the conversion first in the recipe. And the reason you want to do that is because sometimes a conversion isn't necessary. Like there's going to be a handful of things under that existing units that don't need to be done. However, if you've done a conversion and you accidentally put the wrong conversion, you do have that option to fix that. Again, though, I do like to preface that best practice is always to do the conversion directly from the recipe itself. But if you do go to products and view all products, and you go ahead and search for that product here, so we have baking powder, and we're going to click on it, and we're going to edit the product. You are going to come down here to this section where it says units of measure. This is where you would see any existing conversions that were already made. If you needed to make any tweaks to it, and if you needed to add one in, you can do it from here as well. So what you can do is just click on this drop down and say cup is the conversion we want to do. You'll go ahead and click cup, go to add unit, and then again here you'll have to say there's 9 cups in 1 each of baking powder. And again, you're going to see that same cost that we saw earlier, that $2.44. However, again, best to do these conversions at the recipe level. But that is how you would create conversions in MarginEdge.